Hi, and welcome to the first video in the series for panic attacks and agoraphobia. My name is Robin Hall and I'll be taking you through the videos in this series. I'd like to begin on page 5 in workbook number 1, and it's just a short foreword to explain that I had panic disorder myself many years ago, so I know exactly what you're feeling right now, and I know that it's very difficult to explain to other people how you're feeling. Friends, family, but even doctors and therapists very often don't know just how terrifying an experience a panic attack can be. The following techniques cured me completely. In fact, they cured me so completely I can honestly say I know I can never have panic disorder again. Once you know how panic attacks work, you simply can't get caught in the same cycles to the same degree again. And these workbooks will take you to complete recovery too if you follow them carefully and do the practice. It's putting the information into practice is vital. Page 12. Let's begin by looking at anxiety and stress. Now, anxiety actually gets a bad press because it's a perfectly normal and necessary part of our life. We'll all experience anxious feelings at some stage in our life. If we hear bad news, if we're put under some sort of pressure, if we're in danger. And although it's an emotion we generally prefer not to experience, a certain amount of anxiety is actually very helpful for us. I give 3 examples on page 12. Firstly, protection. Obviously, anxiety helps protect us from danger. It stimulates our mind and body to act very, very quickly. Second example, preparation. Anxiety can give us extra energy and focus our minds to deal with difficult demands and challenges. The classic example is an actor on the stage. You hear them saying that if they didn't experience a certain amount of anxiety and adrenaline, they would be more worried because the adrenaline helps them remember their lines and stay focused. Thirdly, motivation. If we didn't have a certain amount of anxiety, we may not realize when we're doing things in our life that may cause us harm. So let's say we're overworking. If we didn't eventually get anxious with that, we may not do anything to change that. I suppose it's similar to pain can help us. So if you put your hand in a fire, the pain makes you pull your hand away so that you don't get burnt. And anxiety can be helpful in a similar way. Page 13. What about stress? Isn't stress a bad thing? People with panic disorder very often worry about stress. They hear from friends, family, doctors, TV programs, magazines, stress is bad. So they think, because I'm having panic attacks regularly, then I must be under a lot of stress. Stress is going to do me harm. But it doesn't actually work like that. Stress and panic are 2 different things. And someone who has panic isn't necessarily under a lot of stress. It's not, you don't panic just because you're having a lot of stress in your life. Some stress can lead to this build-up of symptoms that you feel. But panic is actually a reaction to symptoms that can arise even if you're not under a lot of stress. So it's not necessarily that because you panic you're under stress. So keep that in mind. And of course it seems desirable to have less stress. But these books will help reduce the amount of stress you're under because you're now going to be dealing with your panic attacks. So that's the best way to look at it. When you worry about stress, tell yourself that you're now working on reducing your panic attacks, and that will reduce the amount of stress that you feel you're under. Okay? Let's look at exactly where anxiety symptoms come from. The fight or flight response. Now, maybe you're rolling your eyes right now thinking, I've heard this before, I've read about it many times. It didn't make any difference to my panic attacks. But it's very important how it's explained. The information alone isn't enough. So I'm going to explain this in a way that you've possibly never heard before. And if you can really make the connection between fight or flight and your symptoms of panic, you'll be halfway to recovery from panic disorder. So pay very careful attention to the next few pages.